But you need to be able to see it. You need to be able to see the condo you're living in on your whiteboard or in your the document that you create of what your ideal day is going to look like, which I show you how to do in my life game course. The car that you're driving, the girl that you're waking up to, the sun beaming in, the motorcycle trips you're going to take on the weekend up to Chiang Mai or up to Pai, or the flight you're going to hop over onto Bali, and then you're going to rent the villa here in Bali, and then you'll take a weekend motorcycle trip up to Kintamani and stay in a Moon Duke Heavenly Villa on top of the trees, overlooking the mountains, waking up with some Eastern European girl that you met while she was here on vacation, and you convinced her to stay. And moved in with her, and it was one of these sort of, you knew she was going to go back, so you figured, whatever, come stay with me for 2 months, live in my villa, you guys had a summertime romance type of thing. But you need to be able to see that, man. You need to be able to see that. You need to be able to see where you're going on vacation, right? You're going to test Brazil. You're going to test Eastern Europe. You know the prices. You know the hotel you're staying at in Brazil. In Eastern Europe, you're going to stay in a hotel, or you're going to do the Airbnb thing in a renovated communist building, but you got the top floor and a loft, and the building has all this history, and looks like shit on the outside, but it's super nice on the inside. And you're digging that vibe for 2-3 months of the year in the summer, trying to find your wifey in Eastern Europe, and then you're back to, Asia, doing the, fun girl roster type of thing, right? However you want to do it. It all comes down to your spending targets, and that's another thing when it comes to women. A lot of guys ask, how important is having money? It's important, but not in the way that a lot of guys think. Because the girl doesn't know that you're worth $10 million. Let's say you're worth $10 million. She doesn't know that. And they don't really have much of a conception of money. What they do care about is how much are you spending, and specifically how much are you spending on that. So I know a lot of wealthy guys that don't look wealthy and that don't like to flex and don't spend a whole lot of money. It's just not important to them. So that guy could be worth 10 million. Let's say he spends 10,000 a month. Now let's meet another guy who makes 25,000 a month. His net worth is zero because he spends it all. And he's not as diligent in business, so he's got more free time than the guy who's full on in business and just cares about getting money. So he's got 3 to 4 nights a week to spend with that girl, and he's got a $25K budget. She thinks he's richer than the other guy because he's flexing all over Instagram and he's spending all this money. She doesn't know it if she doesn't see it. And even if she did somehow know it, it's not really tangible to her. And more importantly, what she cares about is not how much money you have, it's how much you spend. Because most of them aren't thinking about the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Is this guy going to be a good provider? They're thinking about right now, how much fun can I have with him being in his current lifestyle? Now, I'm not saying to do that, but it is nice if you have both the financial security being planned out in your decade-long goals, the financial aggression to level up in your yearly goals, and you could spend whatever your number is, 10K, 15, 20, 25K, right? Be making 50K, 70K, 100K, 200K, so you've got plenty to invest in other businesses and hedge out into, your investments, right? And that should be what you're striving for, but it starts with what's the spending target, right? Instead of the fucking savings targets, right? That's where Grant Cardone's right, and Dave Ramsey's wrong. Saving that $3 a day, that cup of coffee, to be able to retire with $1 or $2 million. Look, we don't even know where inflation's going, okay? And what $2 million is going to be worth when you're sick. To fucking save your pennies until you're 60 is terrible. You need to be very aggressive with income and revenue, and then not be an idiot and get a bunch of lifestyle links and spend everything you make every month. You just need to get the income up high enough to where you can spend your 15, 20K and still be able to invest in different things and things of that nature. And if you can't, you should be sitting around thinking about, how do I do that? This is how I want to live. This is enough for me. Anything beyond that is just flying private or whatever. Like, you're living a lot of a billionaire's life at that point, except you're just don't have your own jet. You're not flying private everywhere, but you're still at the best parties you want to be. You're still eating the food you want to be. You're still staying in the same hotels the billionaire would if he was in Southeast Asia. You still got, okay, maybe your condo isn't the mansion that he would have, right? But it's pretty damn nice, pretty damn close. Like, it would be $7K a month in Bangkok. Looks like a damn billionaire. You look like a Hong Kong gangster warlord from the 1990s, like John Woo movies, right? It's killer. Your access to girls is phenomenal. You're living a good part of that, you know, at that spend, right? So anything beyond that it's private, and those guys are doing a lot of power games and, you know, involved in politics and various things like that. They're also just playing a lot for the numbers on the scoreboard at that point. It just becomes a game. But in terms of the actual lifestyle, you probably have a more fun lifestyle than most billionaires too, because you're younger and you have more free time. Those guys are working 24 hours a day. So you need to figure what that number is for your ideal lifestyle, and don't skimp on things, right? Don't skimp on things. If you want a yacht, you can still rent. Don't think about buying it. Think about, let me charter it, you know, once a month or whatever. Get together with my boys and charter that thing, right? So you can have the yacht. If you want to fly private, okay, you don't need to buy the plane. Just get 100K a month coming in. You can fly private every month within Asia. You know, if that's not important to you, then you can have a lesser target. But ultimately, you need that spending target. And it all comes down to your ideal life, which is about your happiness. And being able to plan it out with the pictures and the videos on the image board and see it, taste it, smell it, all these different things. And then commit with 100% certainty that you're going to modify your entire life and business structure and all these different things to be able to hit that, and then have a bunch more for investment and inflation protection and all these different things.